And the first of those, given we can play with the timelines a little bit, is actually a poll. And I'm glad we did this because this prompted us to realize that people weren't in the call. So if we can launch that poll now, just interested, so we can play with the timelines a little bit about what you're most interested in about. So is it what's going on with that global research? Is it what's broken? Is it what people are trying about this in the UK, or is it what does good look like? So if we can launch that poll. All right, so a little bit more interest maybe in what people are doing about this and what's working. So that's some of the UK info. That's helpful to know. Thanks, everybody. And we just, to be honest, wanted to just make sure everyone was dialed in and everyone had got their heads around the agenda. So thank you, everybody. Okay, so first up, I'm going to throw now to Olivier, and I'll let you introduce yourself, Olivier, and talk through your section. And feel free to pop questions in the chat during this, and we'll hit pause afterwards. Off you go, Olivier.
Good morning. I'm Olivier Tarot, Global Head of Innovation at LHH. With my team, we are developing new solution and new product of the future based on research. This morning I will share with you 4 insights based on research which are linked to career management. The first one is about the mega trend impacting career management. The second one is the feeling and the intention of the employees. The third one is about what we learned from CHRO we were interviewing. And the last one, it's the last insight in terms of behavioral sciences of career management. Let's start with the mega trend impacting career management. We observe 4 different shifts. The first one, 69 million new jobs will be created by 2027, and 83 will disappear. Why that? Because of a digital shift. Digital shift, it's about, 30% current working time will be automated. But it's not only digital shift, it's a big change in healthcare, automotive, sustainable environment, which is changing the workforce landscape. What does it mean for people? It's another shift, career shift. We estimate that 12 million workers will have to shift occupation as their job will no longer exist, such as in insurance company, risk analyst, fully automated now, the job doesn't exist anywhere. And in terms of skills, we observe as well a shift. 44% of workers' skills will be disrupted, and 60% of them will require upskilling, reskilling, to keep pace with the evolving needs. As a conclusion, organizations are not static at all. The workforce is changing. It's not about, to create capability, moving people from a job to another one like in the past. Organizations are transforming, which is complexifying career management. And the impact for employees is that they can be lost. They are facing uncertainty as they need to renew themselves. Career management is more important, more complex than previously. Then, what's happening? The feeling and the intention of people. We conducted, in Q4 2023, a global survey with 30,000 respondents, with all demographics all over the world. And 76% said they want to stay in their current company in 2024. Therefore, 37% said they want to advance their career. But only 14% estimate having good development opportunity in their company, which is a challenge. On the opposite, 22% already in Q4 2023 said we're going to leave in 2024, mainly because of they feel their career is not progressing, their work is not meaningful, and they are not using their skills. Attrition, this is the average, 22%. You can check with your company situation if it's more or less, but care management remain a high priority. And as a conclusion, the 37% who wants to advance their career in 2024, if they are not satisfied in 2025, they will move in the 2022, which will declare leaving if companies are not satisfying them. Then the next, what we learned from the CHRO. So the next slide, please. So we conducted a lot of interviews with CHROs of our clients. So we have a board of advisors, and we discovered that care management, it's an important topic for them. So not only to face attrition, but as well so to build capabilities. And most of them, they have a strategic intent. They have the executive support. It's really important, critical for them. They have a clear mobility policy, how to move to jobs, etc. They have more or less an encouraging culture. They have HR resources supporting, so talent manager, HR available for discussion, more or less managers' involvement with this care discussion with their people. They have some solutions, career paths, assessment tools, and they are highly investing in technology and platform today. So meaning talent marketplace, so to fill, the care management gap. I had the great opportunity to talk with the CHRO of a global leading company, so GAFA, from GAFA, and they are quite good at managing career of their people. So I asked the CHRO, what's your recipe? What make you successful? And I wanted to identify, the best practice, so the combination of these 5 different dimensions, and to be able to fine tune and to learn from this. And I was really surprised when the CHRO told me, Olivier, we started being successful when we stopped thinking about what we can do for people and when we started thinking about what they can do for themselves and then align our support. And he clearly identified so that career activism, which is the next one, the bottom of the iceberg, so is the critical success factor. So helping people to take charge of their career. Because with the technology platform, so from our survey, we identified that only 7% in average of employees are engaged with the tech solution, so supporting, fostering career mobility of their company, so which is really low. So as a conclusion, so HR are doing a lot, investing a lot, but the critical success factor is to foster career, employee career activism. So then we started researching on this topic. So the next is some insights about career activism. We try to identify how some employees succeed at taking control of their career and why some don't. So we identified 3 different categories: hiding, fighting, driving. For sure, it's a bit restrictive, so people, they can fluctuate from one to the other, and they can sit in between categories. Basically, the hiding people, we identified their mindset and their behaviors. So they are protecting, they are looking for security. So they are not active, they are passive. So eventually they will move if somebody is coming to them and proposing a job, but they are absolutely not active. So they represent about 60% of the employees in organization in average. So really focused on their own security. They are afraid, 60%, they said they are afraid of losing their job in 2024. So you can imagine that they are not engaged in moving somewhere else in the organization. So they lack psychological safety. They are afraid about the consequences of engaging in career mobility, declaring that they want to move to another job. So they are scared and they don't know really what they want to do. They don't know how to value themselves. They don't know how to start. So at the end, they are confused and they stay in their job. Then about 25%, they are fighting. So their main motivation is to increase their own benefit. They are looking for more. They are looking for more status, more money, more meaning in their job, and they engaged in a career advancement strategy, short term. They want to move. They want to reach another destination. They want more benefits. So very quickly. So the analogy I take is a bit like with wellness. So they will go to the fitness center. So to build their muscles, they are suffering. And they do this not for enjoying the fitness. They do this to enjoying the results, reaching a new destination. And the third category are the people driving their career. They represent, in average, only 15% of the employees. Their main motivation is to reach their full potential. So they are engaged more than in career advancement, in career development. So they enjoy the day-to-day career development. They enjoy the career development journey for the sake of it more than for the destination. And they are able to succeed and they put effort. They are able to see how they are progressing and they are completely fulfilled and they enjoy their jobs. More interestingly, so as a conclusion, we identified as well some correlation with those four styles or categories with two important HR goals: employee engagement and company culture, which are very difficult so to develop as well. So we identified that hiding people are mainly the people not engaged or with low engagement score. The fighter is the roller coaster. They are either highly engaged or lowly engaged. Depends if they are getting the benefits and getting more. So then they are engaged. And if they are suffering and not reaching their goals, they fall again in the low engaged group. And the people in the the drivers, they are all highly engaged. About culture, what we discovered is that the behaviors of these people is highly influencing the company culture in a way or in another one. The people in the hiding category, so the behaviors they have at work, it's again, protecting themselves, not taking initiatives, not taking responsibilities, blaming others, and trying to hide. So not at all to shine, so to be secured. The people fighting, they are highly competitive and aggressive. So it means they are competing with colleagues so to get the promotion, to get the jobs. So they are less collaborative, they are criticizing others, and really fighting internally. They are more focused on their own interest than the team and company's interest. And the people driving their career, in that group, they are really authentic. So they command respect, they are trustful, and they are highly collaborative. So as conclusion, so you can see that developing career activism is very important. So to develop your capabilities, retain people, reduce attrition, but it has a very high impact as well on employee engagement, performance, and company culture, which are difficult so to develop as well. But it's a way to do it. We conducted some research on the behavioral sciences behind career activism. And we identify some key career activities which are necessary to develop self-confidence of employees and their motivation. And we identify some pain points and start developing some solution. So the first one is it's critical for people if they want to be driving in the driving seat, so to discover their essence. Like the one, so driving, I said they have really high level of self-awareness. And it means being able to clarify their personal unique combination of work interest, values, skills, and motivators. Most of our employees, most people, they know more or less, but what's important is to help them to really clarify. And here, what we are doing in terms of essence, it's to identify, the DNA sequence. Because today there are a lot of tools like this talent marketplace, which are matching skills. But CHRO told us it's not really working because it's too theoretical, too conceptual. One of our clients, an FMCG, global FMCG companies, told us we have 4,500 marketing managers. When we looked at people, all of them, they look like the same. They have the same skills. We are unable to get the uniqueness and propose, dream jobs to people resonating with them. So here, in terms of essence, you have to think about DNA, skills DNA of each people, and to identify the sequence. So let me take an example with 4 people in IT. They are all IT developers now, so young people. So they have the same skill sets from a certain extent. They are passionate with technology, with IT. And if we want to help them, to drive their career and to fulfill, to reach their full potential, it's important to help them to identify their DNA sequence. And in the DNA sequence, it can be different from one to another. Let's take an example if tech is the first one, but the second one can be conceptual thinking. Here, the career of this guy will be more, being a tech strategist, so a tech evangelist, whatever. If the second part of the DNA, so the work interest, is more creativity, problem solving, so then the uniqueness of this person will be more to be a developer of complex algorithms, so developing breakthrough solution. If the second part of the DNA, sequence is more about relationship, people, collaboration, so maybe, the good career can be IT manager, managing people. Last example, if the person is more conservative, liking rules, etc., so then the best career choice in IT can be being an administrator to maintain and sustain an existing system. So you can see that people with the same background in the same organization can go differently. And what's important is to help them to find their uniqueness, to be able to be fully engaged and to like what they are doing and to be in this driving seat, not looking for a job for more, but looking for being themselves. Already saying now, I'm a tech strategist. Okay, it's only 15% of my job, but I am young, but I will develop in that field because it's me. So first discovering their essence, then second one, it's about exploring the career path, personalized career path, which can be different for the tech administrator, the tech strategist, the tech developer, etc. So finding something personalized, resonating with their essence, so for them to be able to articulate their career aspiration and not only fitting with what's existing, within the functions broadly. The third one is about when they know who they are, what they want to do, and when they want to move. It's to share this with their organization, to share their uniqueness. So talking with their manager, talking with their HR, so influencing them, as well as loading some augmented information in their HR management system. Most of the CHRO, they told us, so our HR system are empty shelf. So we don't have, the credential about the past. We don't have the hidden skills. We don't have the uniqueness of people, and it's missing. So we are just matching skills, but it's not relevant. And the last one for people, it's really to help them, to drive for results. And for them, helping them to sustain the momentum, to be able to develop their career development plan and to improve the skills they need to be able to successfully apply in their new job. And it's involving, developing their reputation, branding themselves, pitching themselves, networking with the future organization they want to go. And yeah, so and for sure, upskilling and reskilling themselves with hard skills and soft skills, so to be credible in the next job. So as a conclusion, I was sharing you some insight about the mega trend. So organizations are not at all static. So everything is changing with so job disappearing, new job being created, new organization design with a strong impact for people being lost maybe in that change. Second insight, it was about so the feeling and the intention of people. So some want to stay but to develop, a lot of wants to leave because of companies are competing, with external platform. As I said, only 7% are looking internally and engaged with the system. The other one, they are more engaged with LinkedIn. Third one, insight, it was about the CHRO doing a lot, relying on technology, but the key parameter is really career activism. And the third insight I shared with you, it was behavioral sciences over about career activism, which is key, and what's in the mind of the people and how to help them so to be career activist. So I will hand over now to Tim, who will share with you some more insight about the UK market more specifically.
Thanks so much, Olivier. We had two good questions, Olivier. I'm just going to pose them to you now from Richard Turner. So thank you, Richard. The first one was, are we indicating that HR team leads are failing to drive the careers of staff? And the second one, and I do like this zooming in, is do we see different activism across specific generations? So do you see that flower model maybe panning out differently across generations? So I don't know if you've got 2 minutes to answer those, Olivier.
I didn't get the first question, but I will answer the second one. So right now, so you will be able to. So yes, we observed differences in between generation. So mainly with Gen Z, and I'd like to say it's more in terms of how to say about timeline. So the Gen Z, they want to stay less than 2 years in their job. So it means they just move in a job, they learn, when they are performant, they are bored, and they want to move to another one very, very, very quickly. So this is the main, discrepancy with generation. And within millennials, so we find more fighters. For sure, they are a bit younger and they need to build their career. So they are looking for advancement. Compared to the more mature people, they are already there. And in terms of timing, so easily 4-5 years, timing in change, it's acceptable for them. So what about the first one, Tim?
The first one was simply, are we indicating that HR teams are failing to drive the careers of their staff?
No, because of the so in our survey, 0% employees said we'd like to have a tech advisory solution. They highly valued collaboration and exchange with their HR. And HR are doing it. I remember myself being HR directors and in charge of talent management. My boss said, I'd like you to spend all of your afternoon talking 30, 45 minutes with all of our key talent. And then you will be busy for the rest of the year. Engaging with their aspiration, helping them to clarify. I know HR are doing it, and it's really critical. It's a strong need from employees. They want to have personal exchange. HR are doing it. It's not always easy because we see with the 22% attrition, they are overbooked with recruitment and lot of other tasks. So it's more about prioritizing and finding the space. So saying, I have 2 mornings per day in which I will be able to do that job. So really talent management, care management with people. So they are not failing, but it's a huge task. There are a lot of employees, and it's more a question of resources and prioritization.
Thanks, Olivier. Yeah, great questions, provocative questions, and thanks so much. And I do love that model. I'm going to march us on now in the interest of time. Olivier, as part of his role, research digs, speaking with HR professionals. In my world, so I'm Tim Edwards, and I own the solutions that we have around career development. So that's workshops, technology, career coaching, light touch self-assessments, all those things. And to steer that, we commissioned some research earlier in the year. And it's interesting seeing how that points back to what Olivier has talked to. So if you wouldn't mind moving the slides on, we'll just have a quick look. So one of the things we asked was, okay, so we know this isn't going so well. We know people are talking about leaving. For every person you leave, how much might it cost? So if you think about a person, you're paying them a salary, but rather than bouncing out of the scope of their role and really pushing, they're in that driving model, they start to move towards that hiding model. And they're not in the zone work-wise. So you're paying them, but they're not pushing it 100%. So you've got some dead time there. Then maybe over time, if people aren't refreshing their roles, driving in their roles, in some cases, unfortunately, you have to restructure, which involves severance payouts and potential litigation. We've all been in a team where a few key players have left, and the impact that has on the rest of the team, driving down their week, pulling them away from their core roles, that morale cost is quite big. And if a hero of a team leaves, everybody else in the team thinks, well, if they're leaving, maybe I should leave. So there's that cost there. You're still paying that person a salary. At this point, it's that kind of point trying to move the talent out if you have to. And then if you have to backfill roles, there's a hiring cost. And of course, if you're hiring from external, salaries there are 15 to 20% higher because you have to pull people in and attract them out of their current employer. And then, of course, you're paying the new person a salary, and there's some dead time onboarding them. So we asked, it was over 200 HR professionals and leaders, so it's not a Mickey Mouse survey, how much they thought it would cost. So if anyone's feeling brave, feel free, not for your organization, but just for an organization out there, how much you think it might cost. So if anybody wants to type in a guess of a figure in pounds, dollars, euros, whatever it is, into the chat, feel free. We've got a great question from Laura that I'll try and take at the end. But trying to keep people does have a cost, and I'll reveal that cost. So for an employee, bear in mind all those factors at play. If you move us on, we'll reveal the data set. So 30,000 per employee average. And then for middle managers and senior managers, that goes up to 42.8K and 54.1K. So for every single person who we're not able to hold their career and look after them and help them see, as Lorna points out in the chat, help people articulate what they want, what their strengths are, help get managers involved, helping steward those people. If we don't look after talent and help them move around, there is a huge hidden cost. The good news is if we invest our time and energy in career management, we do see far improved retention. So if we 60% longer tenure. So really, really powerful. There is a hard cost. So that's a challenge. The other challenge for you as HR leaders and professionals on the call today is, of course, the impact on you. So if we move on to the next slide, we've got a little poll here, and maybe this has been you. It's certainly been me. You're trying to do that big strategic piece of work or exciting or great thing that you wanted to do in your role, but actually, oh, there's some redundancies happening. Oh, there's a big restructure. And you spend your time thinking, oh, if I could just get my head above the clouds with this particular grievance or this particular case. What I wanted to know was, how much of your time, attendees, and if we launch that poll, how much of your time is attended, is drained dealing with this problem of trying to help people stay ahead of where careers are moving. So dealing with restructures, for example, dealing with layoffs, having to backfill key talent, reviewing hundreds and hundreds of CVs. It'd be interesting to know how much of your time is taken up doing it. So we'll just give it 10 seconds to answer. And we've had a question while you were answering that in the chat. Can we confirm who developed the career activism styles? So it was actually delivered, that's LHH's, so Olivier developed it. And if you'd like to have a separate session on it or a conversation about it, please do reach out to us. Certainly I've been all three of those activism styles throughout my career, and I'm sure they resonated with people. So we'll close the poll now. Thanks, Louisa, for the question. And we'll just see the results. So how much of your time is spent doing, so you know, the two most popular results, 25% and 50% of your time, just dealing with things around restructures, dealing with these, you know, pieces of huge effort around restructuring, urgently backfilling roles, dealing with. So it's a big drain. We had another question. So if we move on to the next one, we'll just quickly canter through these, which was, what are you doing about it? So what is your organization investing in around careers and talent retention? Is it training material, workshops, technology, career coaching? You're not doing anything, or you know, maybe you're doing the whole shooting match. So a fairly even split. Some people are doing everything. So 24% are doing everything. 16% aren't doing anything. And then we seem to have a bit of a leaning towards training material, 25% of people developing training material and workshops, great. Only 7% investing in technology, that's interesting, and 7% on career coaching. And training our managers to be career coaches, brilliant. Well, I'd love to hear that answer, Gemma, and that tallies with some of the messaging that I've got later. So we move on and have a look at what our data set said. Here's what we have. So the first thing is we asked around, and actually a huge percentage of respondents said that they would be investing in systems, and there has been a huge investment in systems. So whether that's to retain talent, whether that's to develop careers, whether that's to attract talent, and the other thing is it's as a response to employee requests. So I don't know if people know about the Edelman Trust Barometer, but people are worried about this. People are worried about this tech invasion on the workplace. And people are concerned. People are more concerned about being laid off than they are about nuclear war. They're more concerned about it than climate change. They're more concerned about it, about sometimes serious health incidents. Career anxiety is out there. And the number one reason why behind it is if we click on, and you knew this phrase was going to come up, is the response to AI. And Olivia mentioned it earlier. People are really, really worried about what's coming with AI. So there's been a huge investment in systems to try and deal with this. So I'll move us on. Are you investing in technology? So some interesting answers here. If we just do a couple of clicks, let's get these graphs up on screen. So the first message that I want to add here is, of our respondents, HR are in the know. 72% of HR leaders said, yes, we're investing in technology. But actually, everybody else came in at 59%. So there's a gap there. We've got people who are worried about careers. We've got people who are concerned about the impact on them. They're asking for technology, but we're not telling them. And Olivia mentioned this stat earlier. People think outside first. So we ask people, when you think about moving your careers, how likely are you to check an internal jobs board or piece of technology? And how likely are you to have LinkedIn alerts, for example? 47% of people, when they think about developing their careers, they're looking externally. And 8% are checking in with that internal technology. So clearly people think, oh, I want to advance my career, I have to move outwards. And the last thing is, worryingly, there's this gender gap that came through. more males than females answered. That's not a number of people, that is a percentage of the people who responded who are in that gender. So more men, for whatever reason, are aware of their organizations investing in career technology. So our first kind of message that came through our data set really was, if you click us on, Anastasia, is we've got to engage our people. And it's great to see some responses that tally with that on the chat there. We have to engage people, tell them about this technology, even if it's not there yet, tell them we're investing in them, tell them what we're doing, because people are nervous and people are worried. If we move on to our next question, I've got two more to share. If you think we're just here bashing systems, we're not. So if you reveal the slides on this one in the interest of time. So 98% of respondents said they did see a benefit from investing in careers technology. Interestingly, a bigger benefit in large organizations versus small organizations. Now, I've worked in a very small organization, and I can tell you, people knew about roles becoming available, development opportunities, many, many months in advance of them actually going live. People knew, well, there might be something to get involved in there. You had that small organization, that feeling you could see and reach around what might be possible. Whereas in large organizations, that is harder. Additionally, within a large organization, there's more scope. There are more roles often become available. So there's no surprise there. If you move us on, let's have a look. 70% of internal roles, this is LinkedIn data, aren't published publicly. So we have to, wherever we can, shrink the organization. So we had one mention about training managers to be career coaches and career stewards. Simple things you can do. So internal events where you talk about careers, stand-ups around, would you like to work in this area, helping people to network. There are very, very simple things that can be done, tactical things, to help shrink that organization. And the last point that we want to add is just going to come up now. If you share the next slide. Why aren't people developing careers within your business? And this is brand new data, and we found it really interesting. Lack of help identifying what interests them. So that tallies well with what Olivia said. Low positive motivation. So there's plenty of people stressed, but are they in that driving state? A lack of manager support, a lack of confidence, and a lack of internal roles to go to. So really what we've got to do is think systemically and keep it human. So keep actually trying to get people to feel psychologically safe, keep people feeling supported, give managers the tools to support their careers. So I'm not here to bash systems. We have our own systems to help with this stuff, but you know, our message here from the data set is let's keep it human, shrink the organization and engage our people. So that I think broadly covers my section. Yes, you're quite correct, Richard. Of course, internal roles aren't advertised in public first. And if you can infer them, then why would you? Yeah, completely agree. Let's move on to the next slide. And I'm happy to Hannah to share afterwards the number of people. It's a massive survey that was done. So I'm now going to hand you to Lisa, and Lisa's going to share in the few minutes that remain this story around what we developed locally and how it went and what we learned. So over to you, Lisa.
Thanks, Kim. Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Cappuccini. I'm a solution specialist for career development and internal mobility at LHH. I think we can all agree that insights and research that Olivia and Tim shared are really thought-provoking. So I'm going to build on that, and we'll be sharing how we tackle similar challenges by empowering our employees to take control of their own careers. And the results were far beyond what we imagined. Now, I know that retention and engagement are top priorities for most of us, but when we talk to our customers, we hear about a lot of other goals too. Things like boosting productivity, aligning skills with the company's future, empowering managers, and building those diverse, innovative teams that we all strive for. The HR dream, right? And I bet some heads are nodding out there, and I'm pretty sure they sound familiar to a lot of you. And you're not alone. Our customers are right there with you, passionate about improving those engagement scores, creating a culture where employees are proactive about their careers, and of course, seeing more internal mobility. But why is all of this so important? Well, frighteningly, 41% of employees do actually leave their jobs because they don't see enough opportunities for growth. And that's quite the wake-up call. It really drives home just how crucial career development is, to keeping your people happy, engaged, and most importantly, staying with you. Next slide, please. So We all share these familiar challenges when it comes to managing employees, like that star performer who consistently goes above and beyond driving success. But, how do we keep them engaged and challenged so they continue to grow and thrive? Or thinking about D&I goals, we all want to empower underrepresented groups and unlock their full potential. But how do we actually align their career paths with those goals and ensure they feel truly seen and valued? And there's bright-eyed new graduates, fresh and eager to make their mark, but unsure quite where they fit in. How do you help them navigate the often overwhelming company landscape and discover their niche within the bigger picture? Of course, there are those inevitable times of change, restructuring, mergers, or even downsizing. These situations can leave employees feeling uncertain, adrift. So how do you provide the support they need to find new and fulfilling opportunities within the company during those tumultuous times? Not to overlook those returning to work, whether that's parental leave, extended sick leave, or well-deserved sabbatical. How do you ensure their smooth reintegration and make them feel valued on that return? Just remember, by empowering every employee and not just investing in individuals, you're fostering a culture of continuous growth and success across your entire organisation. So the real question is, are you investing talent or merely renting it? When you prioritise career development, you're not just building a team, you're building a culture of innovation and resilience. You're shifting the focus from filling seats to empowering futures. Because in today's world, talent isn't just hired, it's nurtured and grown. Slide, please. So now that we've talked about some of the common challenges, let me share the exciting part, the journey we embarked on with our Career Navigator programme pilot. So our goals were simple yet ambitious, to boost engagement, improve retention, and ensure the programme cultivates a culture of continuous learning and growth. Our aim was to empower every participant to become a CEO of their own career story, increasing career activism by 20% within 6 months. We wanted to create an environment where everyone felt valued, supported, and genuinely excited about their growth potential. And as Tim mentioned earlier, engaging your people is crucial. We've witnessed countless companies invest heavily in tech solutions, hoping for that quick fix, but their employees remain disconnected. So we took a different approach, bringing back the essential human touch and enhancing it with a little touch of tech magic. But to be clear, we're not here to hand out, expensive tech. We're here to empower, to equip teams with the tools and support they need to chart their own career paths and dream big about their futures within the company. And that's where Career Navigator comes in. It's more than just a program. It's a transformative journey that guides employees towards their full potential. We crafted a unique solution that not only addresses employees' needs, but also seamlessly adapts to your organisation's specific goals. We're talking about transforming the career conversations from mere check-ins to a truly game-changing experience. Let me tell you more about how it works. So, back one slide, please. Thank you. Now you might be wondering, what sets Career Navigator apart? Well, think of it as a career accelerator designed for everyone from your newest hires to your seasoned pros. It's built on a foundation of lifelong learning where line managers step up as mentors to guide and inspire their team. What's the secret sauce behind its success? It's a powerful blend of 3 key ingredients. So career workshops. Forget those boring cookie cutter workshops. We're talking about dynamic, interactive sessions that leave your team buzzing with energy and inspiration. They'll gain crystal clear vision of their goals, rediscover their passion for their work, and feel genuinely motivated to stay and grow within your company. Career coaching, imagine personalised one-to-one sessions where your employees can confidently map out their career trajectories. They'll unlock their unique potential and take the reins of their professional development. Our diverse team of coaches offer a wealth of experience and expertise, tailoring each coaching experience to the individual specific aspirations and challenges. The Career Readiness Hub, this is where the magic of continuous learning happens. It's a treasure trove of tools and resources, from CV building tips to skill sharpening exercises, designed to equip your employees with the knowledge and confidence to tackle a any challenge their career journey might throw at them. And by combining these three elements, you're not just setting individuals up for success, you're building a stronger, more resilient workforce that's equipped for the long haul. Slide, please, thank you. So let's take a walk in the shoes of a typical career activism participant. Imagine it's you or perhaps someone in your team embarking on a 6-month journey of self-discovery and career growth. In month 1, the focus is sparking that initial flame of enthusiasm, unearthing hidden talents and passions. We create supportive accountability groups and involve managers to ensure everyone's on the same page and ready to dive in. Remember that exhilarating feeling or feeling of discovering a hidden talent or a new passion. It's like a light bulb moment that can shift your entire perspective. Month 2 is all about those personalized one-on-one coaching sessions. We deep dive into unlocking a growth mindset, helping each individual see their true potential and the exciting possibilities that lie ahead. As we move into months 3 and 4, we shift gears to skills development. Participants set SMART goals and start actively working towards them. We also emphasize the power of building connections and linking them with mentors and peers who can offer valuable insights and support. In months 5 and 6, it's where we double down on encouragement and guidance, ensuring participants stay motivated and laser focused on their goals that go far beyond the program. And by the end of this journey, participants aren't just more engaged, they're transformed. And we know this because the results speak for themselves. All right, so how do we actually measure the success of our program? We're not just about feel-good stories, we believe in tangible results. And this is why our framework centers around what we call our 5 Ps: purpose, plan, possibilities, progress, and performance. Think of it like this, each participant starts their journey by rating themselves through the lens of these 5 Ps. And at the end of the program, we assess themselves and we compare the two, giving us a really powerful picture of how the program has impacted their career engagement. At the beginning, many of the participants told us that they felt uncertain about their career path. Fast forward 6 months, and we've seen an impressive 20% overall increase across all 5 Ps. The most significant leaps were in possibilities and plan, meaning people are starting to really nail down their career aspirations, see a whole new world of potential open up. Now, here's the most exciting part. In our first cohort, every single participant, 100%, told us they felt more engaged in their career journeys. And that newfound clarity and confidence wasn't just talk, it translated to 3 internal moves and even a promotion. So what I want to say is really, these aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet, they're stories of real people taking charge of their futures. And we're just getting started. And cohort 2 is already off to a great start. So by measuring success through our 5 Ps framework, we're not just checking boxes, we're witnessing real meaningful transformations in people's lives and careers. And when employees feel a sense of purpose, have a clear plan, see the possibilities, track the progress and achieve performance, they don't just succeed, they thrive. I'll show you how Career Navigator took our workplace from good to great, while a 12% increase might not sound like much at first glance, the overwhelmingly positive feedback and the real impact on our employees tells a different story. It just goes to show how even small changes can spark, some pretty big improvements. Surveys were glowing. Participants told us they felt empowered and motivated to take ownership of their careers, were more engaged in their roles and felt a strong commitment to the company. And in fact, an incredible 100%, and that's another full house, said they can see their futures within our company now. Coaches got rave reviews for creating a safe space, where people felt comfortable opening up and getting personalised guidance and support. When it comes to tools and resources, our program's portal, packed with assessments and e-learning modules, quickly became the go-to hub for self-learning. Self-reflective assessments were a big hit, with 57% engaging with them, and followed by e-learning at 21%. But the real benefits go way beyond numbers and testimonials. They're deeply personal and unique to each individual, and the program isn't just about immediate career moves, it's about giving people the time and space to reflect, strategize and prepare for their future, whatever that might look like. So remember, investing in your employees isn't just about training, it's about unlocking that hidden potential within your organization, creating a ripple effect of positivity and productivity that can truly transform your workplace. So as a final thought, consider this, in today's fast-paced world, transformational agility isn't just a nice to have, it's an essential for organizations to thrive. So I hope these insights inspire you to invest in your most valuable assets, your people. And obviously, if you'd like to explore this a little bit further, please don't hesitate to reach out.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody. We do have maybe 1 minute for questions. I've seen there's a few more in the chat. So a few people asking me how to reach out. So please just email any one of us. So I'm tim.edwards@lhh.com. I'll put my email in the chat. And just thanks, Olivier, for your time sharing your research. A lot of interest in the model and your thinking. So thanks to you and thanks, Lisa, as well.